Two-time NPFL champ, SaveMore Outdoors pro from Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Put your hands together for the hookup, John Soka.
Okay guys, thank you for joining me here at SaveMore. We're going to talk a little bit about the beaver style bait, and what the differences are, and when and why I would use a beaver versus, let's say, for example, the craw. Okay, you're going to notice the craw's appendages are going to kick and flaps can move a lot more water. So sometimes you want something to be more subtle. Let's say the fish are, for me, when the fish are really engaged on two things. When they're engaged on baits that are kind of gliding through, you feel like they want to glide, I'm going to pick up a beaver style bait. All right, and then when I think that I want them to be they're being a little bit more finicky, all right? So I'm going to show you the main colors that I use. You get your black and blues, a little bit dirtier water. I'm going to use white a lot of time on a beaver bait, all right? And the reason why I use white is I want it to look like a shad, like it's kind of gliding through. I'm going to rig it the exact same way, and I also will use a green pumpkin style because I like to pitch that up when the crawdads are at. Maybe I'll dye it, tip it a little red or something of that nature. An important note on all appendage baits, creature style baits, appendage baits, beavers, craws, lizards, creature baits, I'm going to use the chimera hook, okay? It's going to be an extra wide gap. And the reason is you see me throw this on, it's going to have a lot more room for when the bass bites this thicker bodied bait for the plastic to be pushed in, and you get an extra bite into that fish setting the hook, all right? So I'm going to throw it on there. You guys see that nice room, so when the bass bites down, there's room for that plastic to slide down, and you got a good, half-inch here and a quarter-inch there for that hook to slide into that fish's mouth, all right? So it's very important when you guys are flipping and pitching that you use an extra wide gap hook, and you want one that's sharp. That way you can, when you're pitching into cover, you never know that if a fish is gonna, this is perfect, guys, for pitching into, flipping into really thick, heavy cover. So you put this thing in the top of a tree, it sinks 4 or 5 foot down through all these limbs, and a bass grabs it and it pulls this way, goes underneath some limbs. You need a nice sharp hook that can easily pop through, penetrate, get hooked, and then pull that fish out. So a beaver bait, and I'm wanting to be a lot more subtle than with a beaver.